Hello and welcome back to the channel, and we have our first official look at It Chapter 2, the trailer dropping today. Um, I mentioned it several times on my channel, so you've probably heard me say it before, but horror is the genre that I live for. While I enjoy comic books and comic book adaptations and the genre to some extent, horror is what I grew up with, horror is what I love. And so this is my most anticipated movie of this year. Yes, this year. Um, I saw the first movie, of course. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The just the dynamic between the kids, and it was basically Stranger Things with a touch of horror, right? You know, Stranger Things has horror elements to it, right? But this went hard with the R rating, and I'm sure that there's a lot more that they can do now with an adult cast that they couldn't necessarily have done in the first It movie. Not that they held back, right? First 5 minutes of that movie was just, yeah. Um, so I'm there's a lot that I'm looking forward to seeing for the sequel to the It movie. Bill Skarsgard coming back to reprise his role as Pennywise, and I know that for the 1990 series, while it wasn't as was miniseries, it wasn't as scary. But I know for a lot of persons, they didn't enjoy the adult portions of that miniseries as much as they did with the kids, and of course there is some concern going in that that may be the one of the hurdles that this movie has to overcome. I don't believe it will be, if only because the strong cast that they have put together, right? James McAvoy, coming off of Glass, which was an excellent movie. He's one of my favorite actors to date, and current acting in Hollywood now, and he doesn't get nearly as much recognition as he should really. Jessica Chastain, of course, as Beverly Marsh, but I mean she wasn't necessarily my first pick. Not that she's not a great actress. I've seen her in a few things. Nothing really stood out to me, and my pick for Beverly would have most likely been Amy Adams, if only because she has that innocent persona about her, right? But I'm certain that Jessica Chastain will do as great a job as her in the role. Bill Hader, of course, also an addition, and the Old Spice guy, who I have not seen in anything really. I'm told that he is in he's in a kind of science fiction TV series. Can't recall the name, but I haven't checked it out yet. So I have not seen him act, but I believe they chose him for a reason. So definitely looking forward to see his portrayal. I know they had changed Mike's character somewhat from how it was in the books, right? But not necessarily for the worse, you know. So I'm interested to see where they take the character from here, and I'm definitely excited to see the full cast return, because even though they've split this movie into adults, I imagine that we will see the children here and there in flashbacks as their memory comes back, because when they left, they forgotten all the events of the horror that they went through in Derry. So on returning, some of that will be coming back. So I imagine we will see the younger versions in the movie as well. So I'm definitely excited to see the dynamic between them as adults, and I just can't wait. All right, so let's check it out.
Yes, can I help you?
I used to live here.
Won't you come in? It's the least
Pretty
I
old
can
lady
do.
at the front door.
Is it like you remember?
Cleaner.
All right.
Well,
So
you
Beverly's the
feel
first
free
to
to
go back
look around
home.
while I get the water boiling.
Your hair is winter.
January. The poem that he wrote for her.
My heart burns there.
I think Ben wrote it, but she thought Jill wrote it. Oh,
There you go.
so it's
Now some
Pennywise.
music. I do apologize.
I think that was in the
It
book
gets so
too.
very hot here
Six
this
flies
time of year.
represent
It's fine.
the six
But you feel
characters.
like you could just about die. But you know what they say about Derry.
What do
No
they say,
one who
old lady?
dies here ever really dies.
Okay. Creepy pause. She get a stroke?
But tell me, how is it being
Adults
back
in
there?
Derry have always just been really creepy and
Strange.
unsettling. It was
Strange?
one of the things I loved
Oh,
about the first
my.
movie. Oh.
I
They
had
did
some
injure
cookies in the
Pennywise.
oven before you
Did,
came.
did they stab him in his chest?
I
I wonder if
shouldn't
that's what
impose.
that
I'm
is.
gonna. No. I insist.
Your photos are lovely, Miss Kirsch. Are these your family?
My father came to this country with $14 in his pocket.
What did he do, Mrs. Kirsch?
My father joined the circus.
Yep. Remember coming back. Pennywise. She naked?
I was always Daddy's little girl. What about you? Are you still his little girl, Beverly? Are you?
Naked grandma. Ah, that's a great shot.
This meeting of the Losers Club has officially begun.
Alright, we're here.
We can do this, but we have to stick together.
That laugh. Ooh. Yeah. Little girl.
Hello.
Alright, there we have it. So it's chapter 2. I love the trailer. Absolutely love the trailer. I believe this was intended to be a teaser trailer, but it ran on for quite a bit. It's a lot longer than a typical teaser. And what's more than that, they gave us, a scene almost in its entirety. Right, and let that scene sit with us for a bit. So, but that's I love how the trailer was cut together. It gave us, it reintroduced us to Beverly, and in terms of where she is now. I do hope that it would be interesting if they did it that way. Maybe they won't, but they could maybe, each trailer that is dropped, show us how each of these characters return to Derry and begin to have the recollection of what happened there before when they were much younger. But that might be giving away a bit too much. So, on second thought, it's not a great idea because it's like it's six of them. That's giving away way too much. But love how the trailer was cut together. That seemed like the grandma was just, and it's one of the things that chapter 1 did brilliantly. While Pennywise himself was eerie and horrific, they did a great job of demonstrating how disturbed the people of Derry are. Right? Ben did say in what he found out that Derry itself has been host to a lot of strange activities, and the town people themselves have, it says though it has affected them in some way, and it feels as though they're unsettled. And the pharmacist from the first one, that was a very gross pharmacist that was checking Beverly out. Even Eddie's mom, right? The town folks in Derry are just very disturbing in and of themselves. So the town itself, the town itself is just creepy, and they did that very well in the first movie. And they seem to be doing the very same thing here. Although it is Pennywise in disguise, but at the same time, I get a feeling that this is if she wasn't Pennywise, I would think that that's exactly how she would be. Speaking to you 1 minute, then freeze for 5 seconds before she continues speaking, and exposing herself in some weird, gross way, right? So the people of Derry, the town of Derry itself, lends itself a lot to what has made the series, the first film, great, and I imagine what will add to what the second film has to offer as well, right? We got our or only look at Pennywise at the end of the trailer for the most part. And it's interesting, they changed the color of his eyes. The first film, his eyes were a bright yellow, right? But here at the end here, it appears as though it's a deep red. And I'm interested to know why they made that change. Either way, I mean, it won't affect his performance too much. But I kind of like the yellow eyes. They just look eerie and unsettling, right? So that's one change that I noticed that they have made. The new cast, the adult version of the cast looks very good actually. We didn't get a whole lot of in terms of introduction to them, but we saw some snapshots here and there. James McAvoy, of course, it appears, I don't know if maybe it's a dream sequence or Pennywise approached him down in this, he's walking by a sewer, and it appears to be his younger brother with the boat in hand that he was chasing when he disappeared. Alright, so I'm definitely loving the trailer, absolutely love it. I'm going to be counting down the days until this movie drops, September 6th. I've already marked my calendar mentally. I'm over the moon that I'm waiting for the movie to come out. I'm excited. Be sure to post down in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on the trailer. How excited are you to see it, Chapter 2? Be sure to hit like or subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.